Good morning. It's time for Winging It Buffalo Style. I'm Diana Fairbanks.
And I'm your CW star, Matt Snyder.
We hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. I know I did. The weather was kind of but it's going to get better throughout the weekend. Mike Suckett's going to have your 4-1 forecast coming up. Also in the show today, we're going to have Kelly Landwehr, one of our favorites, in the kitchen today. She is cooking with wine, and we are going fancy. We're doing a little surf and turf, a little lobster. It's going to be delicious.
And did you catch last night's Mad Men? Well, today we were supposed to do this awesome story about if Mad Men was like the modern day ad agency, but we're having a little technical difficulties. But we were joking, it's kind of like how who actually catches Mad Men? Usually DVR it, TiVo it, and then watch it a day later. So kind of like that.
It's going to be a really great story. It's coming up tomorrow. But, of course, like Mad Men, my favorite show, and I never get to watch it anymore because I go to bed at 7:30. So I have to, like, watch on Twitter and stuff that I don't see any Mad Men spoilers. I need to have, like, you know, my blinders on for all the Mad Men spoilers. So I'm going to watch it later today.
And we can give you a little spoiler, too. I'm just as handsome as Don Draper.
You are? Dashing.
That was
just dashing. Hey, speaking of dashing, did you see Gatsby this weekend? We did, and it was spectacular. If you haven't seen it, you may want to consider it, especially on the big screen. That's the great thing about this movie. It's not the story. Everybody knows the story at this point. F. Scott Fitzgerald gets credit for that. But this version of it is so visually spectacular. I think to not see it on the big screen would just not be doing it justice. It is phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. Now, you and I each saw it in 3D, which takes it to a whole nother level. Just spectacular. You know, there's some things about casting I'm not sure I'm totally in love with, but overall, I really enjoyed it.
You know, I liked it as like a piece of art that you could sit back and enjoy visually, but I did not like most of the other things. I thought that the hip hop was an amazingly intelligent choice.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, that's kind of how the feel jazz had back then. I just got really bored about 3/4 of the way.
Really?
I will have to say I was sitting next to a group of prom students. They came from prom, and the one guy had his top hat on the entire movie, and I was like,
I'm sure the people behind Top Hat really enjoyed that.
We were back in 1870, and we have to worry about wearing our top hats in the theater. But I thought that, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio, every time that I see him in a movie, you know, with Blood Diamond, Shutter Island, he's really good. He's really grown so much since his days on Growing Pains and Titanic.
Honestly, I was a little bit over Leo, but he has redeemed himself for me in this movie, so I'm back on Team Leo. I like him a lot. I think he did a great job as Jay Gatsby. Tobey Maguire and I just don't, we just don't see eye to eye. But you know who I'm going to say who stole the show? I'm going to put this out there right now for you. Jordan Baker, the actress who played Jordan Baker, I think was perfectly cast. And I had to look her up on IMDb because I didn't know much about her. She hasn't been in much, but I thought that was really well casting on that part.
She took a role that's not too fleshed out. It's kind of a silly role, and she completely owned it. There was never a moment where you pulled out and saying, well, a female golfer, that's like a strange choice, but you didn't think that. You were just fully invested.
I enjoyed it.
Well,
thumbs up.
If you were concerned that the only romantic story you were going to hear was that of Gatsby and Daisy, be corrected, because we have our own beautiful, glorious love story too, and that's happening at the Buffalo Zoo. Cully, the orphan polar bear, is coming Wednesday to meet Luna, our polar bear, and we hope that it's going to be just as romantic of a meeting. I mean, of course, it probably won't be, but they will be having a new playmate, both of them, and I think everyone's really excited to see how they interact.
Buffalo's got polar bear fever for sure, so it's going to be nice to not only have one but two. I mean, there's really nothing cuter. Well, I'm going to put this out there. I do enjoy pandas, but other than pandas, there's nothing cuter than a baby polar bear. I
mean, I have to say though, Luna's looking a little dirty. She might need to take a bath before she meets Cully, because I mean, first impressions are everything.
Yes.
And what I was really interested in about with the Cully story is how he's getting here. Is he flying? Is he taking, you know, a car, a boat, a land? Because you think about, like, okay, we're really excited to have him, but he's coming from Alaska, which is a pretty far trip. But I could not find any information on that.
No, not the Polar Express.
No.
I can't take credit for that. It's really funny though. Speaking of Polar Express, it was really chilly this weekend, but a lot of folks still went outside to have a good time.
Yeah, we had them on the show, a little teaser, the Canal Side food fight, and we have a story about that.
That's right.
It's a food fight, but no one's getting messy. They're just getting full. The organizers of Buffalo Soup Fest started the Canal Side Food Fight series. This was the opening round.
We just kind of want to show off the future of Buffalo all in one spot.
That future includes the rising number of mobile food vendors and the continuing development of Canalside. Chefs in 7 trucks competed against each other. They used the Pan American Exposition as inspiration for their dishes.
We did a little bit of research, and we found an old menu that they served to President McKinley during the Pan American Expo.
I am going to make an old-fashioned ice cream float.
Cracker Jack fritter. It's inspired by Cracker Jack, popcorn, and peanuts everywhere at the Pan American Exposition.
Welcome to the Canalside Food Fight.
News 4's Ed Dranch was one of the celebrity judges. He says picking a winner isn't too complicated.
I don't really know. It just tastes good and it's going to get points.
When the points were tabulated, the Black Market food truck took 3rd, the Sweet Hearth placed 2nd, and the big winner was the Whole Hog food truck. With that dish that was once served to President McKinley in Buffalo during the Pan Am Expo. But as far as the effort to spread the word about their businesses and to highlight Canalside, there were no losers. And certainly no empty stomachs.
First one.
And that story was brought to you by Lou Bergoose, News 4's Lou Bergoose. But right now we're going to head over to the Kitchen World Kitchen, where some surf and turf action is happening.